gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Johan Castell and you're watching Wings. Today we'll show you Ayodhya for Diwali and a ground report from the new temple there. We tell you some top destinations to go to while Delhi is covered in heavy air pollution and how Egypt's government woos visitors to stop a tourist revenue drain while the war goes on in Israel. Let's also ride on Thailand's floating train before exploring an ancient village in China. Let's begin. Explore the beauty of Diwali celebrations and the remarkable Ayodhya Ram Mandir construction in this captivating video with a ground report from Ayodhya, which looks likely to become an even more popular tourist site.
Diwali, a festival that represents the victory of good over evil, is celebrated by millions not only in India but across the globe. One of the biggest and most magnificent festivals in India, it is also celebrated with great enthusiasm in other countries as well. A festival that unifies every religion, every home and every heart. The most widespread custom is the lighting of small earthenware lamps filled with oil on the night of the new moon to invite the presence of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. In northern India, the festival originates in the Hindu epic Ramayana. People celebrate the festival of lights to mark the return of Lord Ram to Ayodhya along with Sita and brother Lakshman after a 14-year exile. Diwali has been celebrated enthusiastically in Ayodhya for many years. And when the occasion comes around annually, the riverside can be seen fully illuminated by lit earthenware lamps. The preparations for the upcoming Deepotsava event in Ayodhya is now in full swing. The event aims to set a world record by lighting 2.1 million earthen lamps at 51 ghats along the Saryu River. But arrangements are being made to lay a staggering 2.4 million lamps. The event will take place over 3 days, starting from November 10th to 12th, coinciding with Diwali, and will serve as a rehearsal before the grand opening of the new Ram temple next year. The city of Ayodhya is also emerging as a tourist destination by constructing a large, impressive temple. To explore how the construction of the temple will affect the tourism industry in the area, WION visited the temple for a ground report with Nipindra Mishra, who is the chairperson of the Ayodhya Ram Mandir Construction Committee. Let's hear what he has to say about this.
The temple alone is roughly of construction cost will ultimately end up in about 600 to 700 crores. But what you see just in front of that is called Parkota. Parkota, for let us say the understanding, is the parikrama of the temple. That is 795 meters that is there in the length and breadth. When we take Parkota and then take the area, it becomes about 8.28 acres.
We proceed through the northern gate to the temple's ground floor. On the first floor, there will be 3 mandaps, and on the second floor, there will be 2. On the ground floor, there will be 170 pillars which will support the structure. The temple has been built of stone rather than steel, as it will last much longer. We were allowed into the sanctum sanctorum to witness the most sacred place of the temple, and this spot holds a special significance.
And this is undoubtedly the most holy place in the temple. This is exactly where Lord Ram's idol would be placed. As we speak, there are currently 3 idols of Lord Ram that are being prepared in Ayodhya. The one with the most supreme stone quality and the one that's the most divine to the eyes shall be placed here. This place is also believed to be the exact birthplace of Lord Ram.
These impressively carved doors have been made from teak wood from Maharashtra.
So in many respects, it is going to be a pilgrimage center for every Indian, wherever he is.
What intricate work these stone carvers achieve here in Ayodhya. Each pillar has a different artist who works to complete it, giving them unique looks.
Once the temple construction is done and Ram temple is open to the public, what does that do for the socio-economic status of the people in Ayodhya and the surrounding areas with respect to tourism and employment opportunities? What do you think?
The pilgrims will be from all over the country and abroad.
Yes, sir.
So we have to provide facilities outside the temple to people to stay. Honorable Chief Minister is focusing on various aspects of tourism, various aspects of consumer goods, also the economic activity around in terms of retail trade.
What an impressive sight it has been to experience the Ayodhya Ram Mandir. While construction is about to conclude before the temple's official opening next year. It is clear to me now that this will become a destination for both pilgrims and tourists for many years to come.
While the national capital region of India is covered in a blanket of thick smog, let us show you some of our favorite destinations to escape the heavy pollution.
For the last few days, Delhi has been caught in a toxic smog that has engulfed the city. The air quality index has maxed out sensors at 999 in some city areas. New Delhi holds the unfortunate distinction of being the world's most polluted megacity. The winter season brings about harmful smog over Delhi, as cold, dense air traps construction debris, vehicle emissions, and smoke from the burning of crop stubble in neighboring states. This leads to a surge in respiratory ailments among the city's more than 20 million inhabitants. Sometimes, escaping New Delhi's toxic smog might only require leaving the city for a smaller one. Yet for travelers who visited India's iconic Taj Mahal in Agra, the Mughal-era white marble mausoleum was only visible as a blurred silhouette. Amid the thick smog enveloping New Delhi, residents were observed heading towards hill towns for relief. Tourists from New Delhi expressed relief upon reaching Dharamshala and Nainital, where the air was noticeably cleaner, allowing them to breathe more easily.
The situation in Delhi is very bad due to pollution. Due to stubble burning, we feel trouble while breathing. In the news, we see that AQI, which used to be 300, has reached 700. When I came to Nainital from Delhi, the air changed completely. While breathing, I can feel the difference.
The environment in Delhi is very bad. The pollution is too much. The AQI in Delhi is equivalent to smoking 61 cigarettes, and coming here to Nainital, I feel in a completely different environment.
As comparative to Delhi, Punjab, Haryana.
Compared to Delhi, Punjab and Haryana, the environment is very good here in Dharamshala and it's much less polluted. Secondly, due to lots of industrial pollution in Delhi, breathing has become very difficult. It's like a therapy that we can just visit Dharamshala and we can just have a good time with family and friends.
We have also frequented these hill stations in North India. So let us give you our favorite outdoor things to do in these towns. What better way to get outside than on foot, exploring the towns of Miklodganj and Dharamkot, all the way up to the waterfall on a day-long trek. This activity is always rewarding, and there are plenty of stops for snacks available along the way. A trek that doesn't offer any snacks along the entire route is the trek we took in Missouri from Everest's old house. We managed to spot a few birds in the bush during the walk, making for a great capture. For a little more high-paced adventure, the hills around Nainital are great for mountain biking, and after renting a bike in town, you can go for some thrilling rides. For true daredevils, nothing beats paragliding in the Himalayas, among many other spots. This can be done in Uttarakhand in places like Kumaus Nakuchi Atal.
As the echoes of conflict reverberate through Israel, an unintended casualty emerges, the once thriving tourism industry. In Jerusalem, the lively streets that once hosted a diverse tapestry of tourists now stand eerily empty. In Egypt, a country heavily reliant on tourism revenue, there's a race to adapt and revive amidst growing concerns. Here's a closer look at the evolving landscape of Middle Eastern tourism in the wake of recent events.
The war in Israel has had a catastrophic effect on tourism revenue. In Jerusalem, the streets, once crowded with tourists, are now empty. Across the border in Egypt, tourism serves as a crucial source of foreign currency. Despite some reservations being delayed for the end of the year, it was on track to generate over $13 billion and reach a target of 15 million visitors for the year. However, ratings firm S&P Global cautioned on Monday that a deadline in tourism due to the Gaza conflict could pose significant challenges for Egypt, Jordan, and Lebanon, as some travelers cancel or postpone their trips to the Middle East and North Africa. To bolster its tourism industry in southern Sinai along the Red Sea, Egypt has introduced fresh incentives. According to the Egyptian tourism minister, the impact of the conflict in the Gaza Strip has been limited.
So far, the impact is on the customers who have bought the regional products, because the tourism sector in Israel is actually practically shut down. So this is where we're seeing the most significant impact. But in the grand scheme of things, the overall size of bookings, that represents less than 10% of the total number of bookings in Egypt.
To encourage tourism, Egypt offers an additional $500 in incentives for each flight landing in Sharm el-Sheikh. The country also works closely with travel wholesalers, retailers, and airlines to maintain their commitment to Egypt. Additionally, Egypt is anticipating a boost from the delayed opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, located adjacent to the Giza pyramids, which is expected to officially open between February and May next year, as per ISA.
We're installing about 200 pieces a day today in the showcases. We're finishing the last touches of the audio guides and I think at the rate we're going to have some sort of a soft opening, hopefully before the end of this year. The official opening day is going to be set over the coming couple of months, but most likely it's going to be between February and May.
The country was a bargain even before the Israel war due to recent currency devaluations. Traveling to Egypt looks like a better deal than in recent memory.
Next up, let's take you on a special train ride through a scenic off-the-beaten-path adventure on a train in Thailand.
In Thailand, a travel hotspot with famous temples and scenic beaches, tourists enjoy an off-the-beaten-track travel experience. With railway adventures gaining popularity in the country, Thailand's so-called floating train is mesmerizing hordes of tourists. Last week, the State Railway of Thailand's floating train, formerly called Rotphai Loi Nam, took its first journey after the rainy season. The train started its journey from Bangkok's century-old Hua Lamphong station before sunrise, moving toward the Pasak Jolasit Dam. Beautiful lotus ponds, jungles, temples and rice paddies zipped by as tourists hung out of the window and took pictures.
Bangkok, because
tourists mostly only get to see the main attractions in Thailand, like the cities of Bangkok or Chiang Mai. But walk around here and you can also enjoy other views. I also think that the market here is more local.
When the train moved through the Pasak Jolasid Reservoir area, the water views in front of them were spellbinding. The train made a 20-minute stop at a reservoir bridge for the selfie-seeking passengers to soak up the scenery. But why is it called the floating train? The dam is used for agriculture and flood prevention and is fast becoming a tourism drawcard, with popular rail trips running from November to January. Besides train trips, Thailand also offers other exciting experiences with trains. Take a look at the life-risking market of Mai Klong, where trains pass right through the middle of a bustling vegetable market. Or how about this classic train on the River Kwai Bridge? From the classic to the ultra-modern, Bangkok is home to an advanced network of city trains that can be explored using public transport. There is something for everyone in Thailand, and for those who are climate conscious and prefer to travel by train, the whole country is accessible.
Over to China now. There are countless scenic villages in China, many of which are well worth a visit. Let us go to a traditional village in eastern China for a tour.
In Jiangxi province, eastern China, lies a quaint ancient village called Ichan. The well-preserved ancient settlement has become a popular tourist attraction due to its diverse and culturally rich traditional architecture. Situated in Guangchang County, a region renowned for lotus cultivation over 1300 years, Ichan Village holds a special place in the heart of Wu Guangshang, a local middle school teacher and descendant of the village's early settlers. Over 4 centuries ago, Wu's ancestors migrated from the eastern foothills to the western foothills of the UNESCO-designated Wuyi Mountains. He says a post office has graced the village for generations and even named the town.
This is an ancient post road that branches towards Fujian and Guangdong. A post house stood here a long time ago, and that's why the town is called the village in front of a post house.
Jiangxi province has a vast water network centered around Poyang Lake and the Gangjiang River. This fertile terrain has historically made it an excellent location for agriculture. Consequently, Jiangxi boasts an impressive array of well-preserved ancient towns, with over 400 of them listed as traditional sites in China, according to Wu.
The courtyard in the house allows for light, drainage and ventilation. From above, the squares look like the Chinese character Hui, which means returning, reminding you that wherever you go, always come back home.
In Ichan, the ancient structures are meticulously arranged in harmony with the river's natural flow, showcasing the distinctive allure of Chinese water towns. The buildings exhibit a diverse range of architectural styles, contributing to the unique cultural ambience that defines this enchanting location.
Moving on, it's time for the latest travel, tourism and aviation updates worldwide. Take a look at our news deck.
Police successfully resolved a hostage situation at Hamburg Airport last Sunday, arresting a man suspected of carrying a weapon and potentially explosives. The incident, stemming from a custody dispute, led to the closure of the busy air hub on Saturday. The 35-year-old man, accompanied by his 4-year-old daughter, drove through the airport gates on Saturday night. Thankfully, the child emerged unharmed when the suspect surrendered to authorities without resistance. The airport is working swiftly to resume operations after the incident, with 286 flights and approximately 34,500 passengers affected. Hamburg Mayor Peter Tschentscher expressed his support for the mother, child and their family following the ordeal. This incident has raised concerns about airport security, coming less than 4 months after climate activists disrupted operations by accessing the runway. On October 30th, the walkways leading to the majestic Iguazu Falls were submerged by the surging waters, preventing tourists from accessing this natural wonder. According to the Parana Energy Company, the water level at the falls is nearly 16 times higher than usual, marking the second highest recorded level since monitoring began in Iguazu. While tourists on the Brazilian side can explore various circuits in the vicinity, they are unable to traverse the metal walkways that extend into the falls. The falls, located on the Brazil-Argentina border, recorded a staggering flow of 24.2 million liters of water per second. According to the park managers, this is the highest flow since 2014. The park remained open for tourists, although a footbridge was inaccessible due to the high water level. A New Zealand court recently ruled that the management company responsible for the White Island tragedy was found guilty on a breach of health and safety law. The verdict relates to a volcanic eruption that claimed the lives of 22 people, primarily tourists, in 2019. The workplace regulator had brought charges against 13 parties in November 2020, of which 6, including helicopter and boat tour operators, pleaded guilty. Charges against the remaining parties, except for the management company, were dropped. District Court Judge Evangelos Thomas described Wakari Management Limited, which oversees the island on behalf of its owners but does not conduct the tours, to be guilty of one health and safety charge. A second charge was dismissed. White Island, an active volcano, was a popular tourist destination despite the known risk of eruptions. However, tourists are no longer permitted to visit the island. Last Friday, firefighters successfully rescued 4 tourists who were stranded in their cars due to flooding in Pinzano al Tagliamento, located in northern Italy. Severe rainfall and powerful winds battered the regions of Friuli, Venezia Giulia, and Veneto in northern Italy, prompting Italy's Civil Protection Agency to issue a high-level red code alert. In Alpago, near Belluno, dive teams and river experts from the fire brigade conducted examinations of the local river canals on Friday, following the disappearance of a firefighter the previous day.
That's all we have for you on the show this week, but we'll return again next weekend. Until then, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.
Gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.